Hey, what's up guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a trade recap video. So this is going to be a video I haven't done in quite a bit, but I thought I'd bring it back to show you guys, or show all the new subscribers, how I've been trading recently. And yeah, at the end of the video I'll show you guys the live execution as well, and I'm gonna try to keep this video nice and short. As you guys can see, I'm up about $200 on 5 of my Tradify accounts. So if you guys are interested with trading with them, make sure you check out the link in the description. I have a couple other futures propfirms if you guys are interested. And you guys want to help me out and use my link. If not, it's totally cool. But yeah, I'll try to keep this video nice and short, and let's pretty much get into it. Like I said, I will have the live execution at the end of the video. In the video, you also hear me call out basically what I wanted to see, and basically call out this entire play. So basically what I was looking at going into the morning was, so if I were to go to maybe the 1 hour, actually I think it'd be a little bit more clear on the 4 hour, but essentially what I've been looking at is, since yesterday we've kind of just been holding this 4 hour fair value gap, right? And before that though, I just kind of want to point out that after sweeping this liquidity down here, for the past week or so, like last week, we kind of just been pumping up nonstop, right? And kind of just taking out all this liquidity that we've kind of left on the sell-off side. So those were really nice targets for when we were pushing up, right? So it was kind of pretty, I wouldn't say obvious that this was going to be a nice pump up, but we had nice targets to aim for. If you were to try to look for a trade, you could try to find a trade riding into those highs, right? Another thing that price action likes to do is fill in these fair value gaps, right, on the higher time frame. So let's say we're at this point in time right here. I believe I took a trade here yesterday as well on New York, but basically we ended up opening around here for New York, right? And the reason I took a long, even though we were pumping up so high, was because although we kind of left no more targets left, right? We kind of just swept all this buy side liquidity. The reason I was still comfortable is because a price likes to also fill in these inefficiencies, these fair value gaps, right? As you guys could see. So until this kind of level was taken, right? Until we filled out this this 4 hour fair value gap to, and we essentially, filled it by a tick. Yeah, until that was kind of filled out, I was comfortable taking longs, and then ever since then we kind of just been selling off. So that's kind of been my narrative going into the day. Another thing is this entire pump up, right? We've kind of had little to no retrace, so I was also kind of not necessarily bearish, but I was looking for some sort of retrace, maybe into discount. And if we were to continue being bearish on the higher time frame, this would be the point in which we start reversing. But I think, at the time, I thought maybe a pullback was necessary for us to kind of get the liquidity we needed to, aim for higher. So yeah, if not, and we start selling off, that's also totally healthy, because, guess what, on the way here, we've just left a whole bunch of liquidity that, maybe we start aiming for eventually, entering a bear market soon. But yeah, who knows? So just going down to I'll just stick with the 1 minute just to show you guys. But yeah, basically going into the day, let me get rid of this. I believe market open, and the reason market opened was around, I believe, right here. Yeah, so right here. So market opens around right here, and I ended up finding a trade, like I said, around right here. That is so bright, I don't know why, but and basically this was kind of the idea for my trade, essentially something like this. I ended up taking 2 different scalps, but the same basically trade idea. And the reason I really liked this was because on this way up, like I said, on this way up, on this push up right here, this entire leg up, we've kind of had little to no sweeps of liquidity, right? In a healthy market, what I would like to see is some sort of structure like this, right? Where we would just, sweep some sort of internal liquidity right here. So, right, we would sweep some sort of liquidity, right here. We sweep some sort of low and then continue higher, right? And then maybe same thing right here, like we'd have a little bit pullback, right? Sweep that liquidity right here and then continue higher. But on basically, instead of that, we just kept getting this push up where we just didn't sweep anything at all. And I thought, okay, maybe this is really good sell side targets in case, if we do decide to sell off, right? So that's kind of what I was looking at. And another reason I really liked this trade was because we left relatively equal highs, right, on the buy side. And so when we sweep it and see a lot of aggressive selling down, I was pretty much comfortable with taking a short, just because maybe this is the buy side objective for the day. On the higher time frame, we could be bearish. So that's kind of 2 of my requirements for a trade, right? If you guys don't know what I'm talking about when I say like my bias or my drawn liquidity, check out like my strategy video. I'll have it. It's on my YouTube channel somewhere. But yeah, the two requirements I needed for a trade were pretty much clear. One, I needed my bias, right? So the higher time frame, and the reason, like I said, why I was bearish was because we filled in this 4-hour objective, right? 4-hour bearish fair value gap, or sorry, bullish fair value gap. Actually, no, it was a bearish fair value gap. We basically filled it to a tick, and we started having some sort of displacement to the downside. So I was like, okay, that could give me my bearish narrative. And then the second, the most important, I'd argue, is probably the drawn liquidity. If I could, you know, change this right here, the drawn liquidity. And what the drawn liquidity is just essentially what a target. You need a target riding into, right? And I had so many targets on the way up, right? Like, look at this. We had so much liquidity resting here that, you know, I thought at the time that we really wanted to sweep this, and before we did anything, right? And that's essentially what happened. Another thing is, not like I said, right? We ended up sweeping London, Asia, right? And we re-sweeped this little bit of liquidity right here, right? We swept a little bit of liquidity right here, and then immediately sold off. So I was able to find a trade entry, right? And my entry was essentially just a 1-minute fair value gap. I also believe it was a 5-minute as well. Let me just double check for you guys. Yeah. So actually, I believe it was a 5-minute inversion with the 1-minute kind of confirmation. So I waited for this kind of 5-minute fair value gap to break, right? And that's when I was a little bit more confident into taking a trade. So once we closed below this 5-minute fair value gap, and you know, as well as the 1-minute right here, right? So we closed on this little candle right here. Okay, I was like, okay. At this point in time, I should have been in the trade. However, I wanted a little bit of a cheaper trade, so I waited for a little bit of a retrace into the, you know, fair value gap, I guess, the inversion now, and find my entry right there. Put my stop loss above, you know, the inversion, and kind of just aim for these lows. However, you will see in the execution that I didn't really end up holding that much. I kind of cut this trade into 2 separate trades. And the reason for that is just I'm pretty close to my payout on Tradify, so I was just going for base hits. I sized down and just wanted to secure, you know, enough, the $150 per day, to kind of get closer to my payout goal. So I'm not trying to put on risk, and I'm not trying to hold and, you know, kind of ruin my trailing drawdown. So that's the reason for that. But if, you know, if I didn't have to worry about trailing drawdown, I would have tried to, you know, maybe scale a little bit right here. So maybe scale half right here, and then try to hold runners till maybe this low right here. But yeah, I'll show you guys the live execution. All right, guys, so now here's going to be the live execution. And you'll basically hear right here that I kind of called out what I would want to see in the trade. So you guys, I'll just let you guys listen.
I think the first like 3 minutes of the market open is gonna like take out a shit ton of liquidity at the top. It'll pump up and then maybe slowly grind down. That's my guess. We'll see if that happens.
And yeah, as you guys could hear, I didn't quite necessarily get the slow grind down. It was pretty much an aggressive sell-off. But yeah, and I'll show you guys the live execution right now. And if you guys are wondering, I'm trading with my cousin right now, so yeah. All right, guys, so now as you guys can see, it's a little bit after the market open now, and at this point in time, I'm just waiting for my confirmation. And what my confirmation is just basically waiting for the close, right? And my entry would technically be the inversion fair value gap entry. However, I did wait for a little bit of retrace for a cheaper trade, as you guys can see. However, doesn't mean I'm just gonna hit the sell button. I wanted to see a little bit more sell off before I, you know, enter my trade, right? And basically put in my stop loss right there above the inversion, and kind of just aim for, you know, basically 20 points on 5 micros. So I did end up getting out a little bit early, but as you guys can see by my P&L, I'm just trying to slowly scalp, and then once I'm in profit a little bit, try to move my stop to maybe this relative high of the candle right here. Technically it should be stops to break even, but yeah, as you guys can see, we got close to my target. However, I got a little scared and just decided to take my money right there. And I'll show you guys my other entry right now. All right, guys, so at this point in time, it's just maybe a 1 minute past, 1 minute's past, and I still really like the trade idea. However, you know, kind of didn't just hold. So I'm basically looking for another re-entry, and the reason I'm okay chasing this trade is because I still have targets, right? I still have a drawn liquidity, right? And that's essentially going to be, you know, we still didn't sweep this low, we still didn't sweep this low, or, you know, this low. So I was still confident until these lows are taken. I'm okay with the short, right? However, I do need to see momentum in my favor, in my direction. And one thing I really like to do is waiting for the flip of a candle, right? So basically what I mean is once this bullish candle flips bearish, right, and it continues in my direction, like I said, you see how aggressive we are selling off right here, right? See how bearish these candles are. Basically what I'm trying to do or predict is I'm guessing that this bullish candle at the moment is going to become a top wick, right? And once this flips bearish, I'm expecting for us to kind of close bearish, so I'm okay kind of selling right here. So I'll show you guys exactly what I mean, right? So you see how big this bullish candle is? That I'm not gonna enter a trade right there because I don't know if this is where we reverse, right? So I'm waiting kind of for a flip of this candle before I kind of commit to anything, right? So you guys can see my little level right there, that drawn liquidity. So basically at this point, I'm like, okay, because of how aggressive we are buying back up, this could be maybe a retrace, and then I could find another re-entry within this fair value gap that we created. If not, in the second scenario right here, right, we flip bearish, I'm okay taking a short. And basically my stop's just gonna be at this relative high up here, or sorry, of the candle. So enter my short position again. I don't have the greatest risk to reward for sure, but it's just, you know, it's pretty much just what works for me, I guess. And yeah, you guys will see. I'm gonna kind of let it play out. I do have a habit of kind of closing my positions early technically, but I just prefer that over, you know, missing my TP by a point or two. So yeah, and as you guys can see, I'm up about 200, and that's pretty much it. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Like I said, I do plan on live streaming my trades this year just for free, you know, so you guys can hang out, come in and, you know, hang out with me. If you have any questions, like I said, this is still my first year of trading, so I still have a lot to learn, but you know, this channel is meant for me to document my journey and kind of share little gems that I find along the way with you guys. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Subscribe!